All right, here we are. Another good conversation on the DFW Blueprint. This particular conversation, and I'm sorry, thanks for sharing, commenting, and I'd love to hear your feedback. This particular conversation is one that is going to be, a little bit more agent focused, but it can also be consumer focused too, where we're going to call this, and I don't claim this to create this, finder, keeper, doer. You might have heard it. You might have seen it. I'm not claiming it, but I do like it and I do live by it in life and in business, not just real estate. You got a finder, you got a keeper, you got a doer. And in real estate, I'm going to just say this real quick. You're either finding business, keeping relations, and doing transactions. A lot of times in life and business and in real estate, it's hard to stay in all three lanes. And the problem is sometimes agents can only operate in one. They're only doing transactions. Are they finding business and maintaining their relationships and their past clients, right? Are you an agent that once you close, they never hear from you again? I never heard from my agent after we closed on my home 8 years ago. The key is follow-up and not, how you doing. It can be if you have a great relationship with them, but the purpose of that is impactful. Something personal. Something, maybe there's a happy birthday. Did you catch it during your initial conversation? Maybe there's a homestead exemption reminder. That's a big one for me, is I tell you at closing, file for your homestead exemption, and my clients can attest to this. Am I reminding them though? 6 months down the road, hey, did you file? Is there a birthday? Is there a holiday? Those are all easy touch points for your clients. And in life, there's 3 roles that can determine your success: the finder, the keeper, the doer, and most people are only good at one, unfortunately. But the people who win long-term understand that all 3 have a synergy that work together. And again, I'm not coming off as someone that's perfect. Do I sometimes operate in the 2 lanes? Yeah, sometimes. But you operate in a sense where this is the goal. And this isn't just about real estate. This applies to business, relationships, life in general. The finder is someone who creates opportunities. Are you making your phone calls? How are you finding your business? Are you having good conversations? Entrepreneurs, salespeople, network, visionaries, they all have this mindset of, I want to find. Think of your local dentist. Dentistry is the first thing that comes to mind. They're continuously finding business, and they want to keep your business forever. Same thing with me. I want you to be a forever client. So what am I doing to maintain that relationship with you? And in real estate, the finder can be lead generation. It can be prospecting. It can be meeting new people. Just had a good conversation with a builder. Good conversations build relationships. And how many conversations are you having? I'm not talking cold calling. You can do that too. I'm a big person that I will call and follow up and kind of make sure I have a good conversation. But that's the goal. Are you in the grocery store? Or are you networking? Are you in the restaurant, the bars? And I'm not saying you have to say, hey, I'm Jeremy and I'm in real estate. Real estate might not even come up. But let's have good conversations and let's be the finder that, can find opportunities. But even outside of real estate, talking about in life in general, because ultimately we're in the people business. I want to make sure that my clients are, and they know I support them. We're not done at the closing table. Where's the next chapter? I've got clients that call me afterwards. Can you help me with a roofer? Can you help me with this? I personally rarely, but since I'm going to put it out there, I'll do it. And I'm allowed to say no, but I help somebody move. And it was because the village was a little small, next chapter in their life. And, took a couple hours out of my day. And that's not a brag. That's just building relationships. And who did I meet? couple friends that showed up, you know, got a chance to go to the U-Haul and have a good conversation. It's just, let's get back to having good conversation. I mean, the finder is the one that sees opportunities where other people see obstacles. The keeper, they maintain and protect that opportunity. These are the ones that this is where most businesses, including real estate, fail. Customer service, relationship management, retention, follow-up. Keyword there is follow-up. In real estate, it's staying in touch with your past clients. It's delivering great service. Just like any other industry, there's reviews. There's an experience that you had at a restaurant. Will you go back to that restaurant? Do you want to get the same server? Do you get your haircut by the same person because it's great service, great conversation? Same thing, agents, and same things, realtors, where maintain your relationships with your customers. Otherwise, you're going to get left behind, and I'm going to be the one to grab them up one day, hopefully. But no, outside of real estate, it's friendships, it's maintaining partnerships, it's building trust, and at all levels. My kids and adults as well, friendships as well, learning. You know how many times, if you remember somebody else's kid's birthday, a buddy of mine, he's got a handful of kids, literally. But no, he's got a handful of kids, and I do my best to try and remember all their names. You'll put me on the spot. Might not happen. But the fact that there's some birthdays that are remembered, it just means a lot. It's the little things, right? But the doer, finder, keeper, doer. This is the execution, where you can have ideas all day long, but they're worthless without execution. Some examples like builders, operators, project managers. In real estate, you've got contracts, you've got negotiations, you've got problem solving, because you've got a problem. You need to buy a house, or you need to sell your house. I'm going to solve that problem for you. But outside of real estate, it is still a business that we are building. At least for me, I'm actually building the business. And I want to, and I hope that I'm going to continue to deliver results for you and for anybody else. But the difference here is, the doer is the executioner. Not in that sense, but they execute at a high level with relentlessness that should be of a high standard. I mean, the finder creates the opportunity. The keeper protects the opportunity. The doer turns the opportunity into results. And that is where you always, always, always will find. You do finder, keeper, doer, and you go back to the basics, you will always win, and your business will be successful. Most problem people have, they're only a finder. They have big ideas. They've got great ideas, but they never execute. Doer, if you're an only doer, probably a very, very hard worker. But there's no other opportunities that are coming in. Are you finding opportunities? Are you able to do those things? And the keeper's loyal. If you're only a keeper, but you never grow, it's like I said in the beginning, it's a synergy that you have to have. And success usually happens when someone learns to operate in 2 or 3 or all of them, all of these lanes. And I will tell you that I wanted this to be a little bit more agent focused, realtor focused, but consumer focused as well. From my perspective, this is the type of person and agent that I would hope that you would partner with. It's a partnership. There's just like a attorney-client relationship. This is a little bit different. It's a partnership to get you to the finish line. And that's my standard. And, I think it probably comes from a little bit of the Marine Corps. The Marine Corps teaches you something similar. Be very disciplined. And vision means nothing without execution. And execution means nothing without discipline. I mean, you could be disciplined in the gym every single day, right? Getting better, trying to get 1% better every single day. But it's what you do. That's an hour, 2 hours in the gym. Now, what are you doing after? Are you maintaining and protecting what you're working toward? Are you finding opportunities? Are you keeping them? Are you actually executing? And that's a good question to ask yourself. If you're a struggling agent out there, ask yourself those questions. How are you finding opportunities? How are you good at keeping them? And how are you actually executing? For those, who think that, well, let me put it to you this way. The people in life who win aren't just finders. They aren't just doers. They understand how to move between all three. Finder, keeper, doer. If you're not executing this, go back to the basics and let's continue to sprint into 2026. And I want every single person who's listening to this to be successful. Consumer, know that the standard, you can put this video in front of my face and say, this is the standard you promised me, but I promise you that you're going to get it. A bit more poignant, I guess.